I feel really bad for our younger generation right now. It's incredible how many problems they have to go on ahead and face in their life. The invention of social media sparked a lot of problems, and unfortunately, a lot of the kids right now are being directly exposed to all of this negativity. And we can already see the crazy impact that it has in our younger generation. If you do your research, you can literally see that our attention span has dropped significantly. We used to have an average attention span of 12 seconds back in 2000. Now, we're at 8.25. That's more than a 30% decrease from 15 years ago. How do you think there are so many cases of ADHD existing right now? Obviously, because of all of the troubles of social media and all of these instant gratification tools that we have at our disposal. But the thing is, our younger generation are born with all of these challenges. Now, I'm a man that's 23 years old, but I wasn't exposed to these things when I was really young. I didn't have a tablet when I was younger, or a cell phone or anything like that. Yeah, sure, I had my Game Boy Advance, but these kinds of tools are much more limiting than compared to the iPads or phones that they have access to. They can access literally anything we can as well. It's crazy to think that a child can have more access to naked bodies than a prince used to hundreds of years ago. Isn't that kind of insane? Kids are literally being drilled with instant gratification all the way, every single day, and they're literally living their lives this way. Obviously, most parents are going to let that happen because instead of them dealing with the child, being patient with them, just give the kid a tablet and shut him up. And that's so sad. That's gonna really damage your kid. It's gonna make him or her really addicted to things very easily. And you're basically teaching the child to always listen to your emotions. Oh, you feel like playing or you feel like doing something? Well, screw your studies, screw whatever you're doing. Just focus on your pleasure. Focus on just satisfying yourself, I guess. But the concern isn't just the instant gratification. But the problem also with the things that they have access to is they see so much negative views about the world. A kid can scroll through TikTok and see plenty of videos discouraging connections between female and male. Oh, guys suck. Oh, girls suck. What do you think it's gonna do for the kid? He's gonna end up growing older and he's gonna end up antagonizing the opposite gender, which is sad. We're supposed to be unifying each other, connecting together. But, let's be honest here, a lot of social media is just really packed with a lot of negativity. All these technologies as well that they get, all the access of these technologies that they have as well creates isolation. What's the point to connect with people when they can just sit their butt down and just consume all the amazing and wonderful content that they have in their disposal? And this sucks because when you add COVID all on top of that, where many of those people were restricted to see each other for 2 years almost, it's really just going to create a plethora of introverted people that are not comfortable talking to others. And to strive in the society, to really become a successful person, you have to understand the market, you have to understand people, you have to talk to people, but they will not gain that skill, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for the generation to strive, considering that they can barely be able to talk to each other correctly. And man, speaking of markets, economy, oh my god, it is bloody expensive. Did you know that at least in the Western world, like you look back at 2008, wages have barely increased from that point on, while inflation has been going so high that practically things have doubled in value from that point on. You'd think also that wages would also increase proportionally to the inflation, but I guess not. Why would it? And that sucks for the younger generation because now people can't even afford homes. They can't even afford a place to live. Food is getting incredibly expensive. How are they going to be able to sustain themselves? They're giving to the system. They're actually working full time, putting so much hours in their jobs, and yet they can just really barely. It's getting incredibly difficult for them to financially strive. And this is why there's a huge growth of people starting businesses, side hustles. But that's the thing, the generation is going to end up being much more overworked than the previous one. Usually, if you look at a generation ago, you get a degree, get a decent job, and you can usually afford a house within maybe 4 years or something like that. Should be fine. Settle. Now, it could maybe take you 15 years before you can fully buy out the house. That is insane. And the younger generation and obviously, in an evolutionary standpoint, we're not just going to sit here and just complain about the prices. We're going to try to work as hard as we can in order to get the money that we need in order to pay for these supplies. But that's just going to encourage a lot of burnouts, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, mental health issues, and that really just sucks for everybody. So now I can go on and on about the problems that, you know, adolescents or kids or whatnot are facing right now. But really, I think what's really important is to acknowledge the problems that they're going through and try to help them out. You probably have younger siblings, cousins, whatnot. Actually try to sympathize a little bit with their issues. Stop thinking that the younger generation sucks, that they're terrible, that they're going nowhere, that it's going to lead us to failure. Is that really going to help to speak negatively about the scenario? Contribute. Actually start helping out a little bit. If you have a younger sibling, try to actually take the time to advise them, to be in their lives, to be present. They lack so much social interactions with people. And the last thing that they should be feeling is neglected. At least they should have the connection of their family. They should be connected with the people that are literally living in the same household, and actually show them some respect. Thinking about all the problems that they have to go through, show them some respect of how much crap they have to endure and how much they will need to endure in the future. And I do hope that the hard times that they're getting will end up creating strong people, will end up creating wonderful leaders that can actually end up helping a lot of citizens, because man, they will need the help. And it all starts with their surroundings, including you. Make sure you give them what they need. Make sure to help them, be there for them, especially the ones that are closest to you. That is it for me, everybody. Take good care of yourselves, and remember, keep your life exciting.